The Devil and the Mason by Martin Bogartis. Told as a Faustian tale of what can happen when not mindful of words rashly spoken in anger, this story admonishes a group of Freemasons to carefully think before speaking, or risk suffering a similar fate. Reflecting the common frustration that many leaders can feel when attempting to guide an organization forward, it uses terminology and expressions familiar to a Masonic audience to advise them to keep their passions within due bounds. Influenced by the celebrated short story The Devil and Dan Webster by Stephen Vincent Benet, it tells the tale of an overworked and frustrated brother Mason named Jonathan Snow, who finds himself fed up with his lodge brothers, who are constantly complaining and making excuses for why they cannot attend lodge rehearsals. In an abject moment of weakness, he lets his anger get the best of him and makes a foolish vow to the devil to forsake Freemasonry and his lodge brothers, deeming them more hassle than they are worth, but soon lives to regret it. As one may expect from the title, the devil makes an infernal appearance to collect on Jon Snow's rash vow, but not before evil monologuing about some of his past victories he has won against a fraternity since Masonry was founded, a la Sympathy for the Devil style by the Rolling Stones. There are stories told in hush filled tones among Freemasons' chosen few, and if you are wise, you will listen unless a similar fate befall you too. It happened at my lodge one night, just before All Hallows Eve. I knew the man and tell the tale, just how it was told to me. It was right before the winter snows at lodge, after parting company with several disgruntled masons who were rehearsing their degree. One group said they practiced too much, another not enough. Another said, let's grab a beer and quit this ritual stuff. We don't really need the practice. The lodge is doing fine. And all the circumambulation, and it's nearly 9:30. I have to get up early to take the kids to church. My wife was supposed to take them there, but left me in the lurch. And we'll have to cancel next rehearsal, since I doubt I'll be around. My mother's brother's cousin is driving in from out of town. And while we're on the subject, if it's all the same to you, I can't make all these darn meetings. Can't you find somebody new? You know I'd love to help and be there, but have you heard about Bob Wainwright? The guys say he's quite a scoundrel. I heard at Clancy's bar last night. My brother's character being now introduced, this is quite beyond the pale. To murder a good man's reputation over a pint sized glass of ale. And John sat in angry silence, at once too stunned to speak. Where was their lodge commitment? Was their cable toe so weak? What had happened to our sacred tie, the craft our true lodestone? He summarily dismissed them and sat down to brood alone. His mind was full of nagging doubts that brothers should speak so cruel, to hear such a poverty of mind coming from the idle tongue of fools. He cursed and swore and then implored he'd gladly toss it all away to the devil, if he'd have it, on checkered floor no more to stay. To quit this sacred retreat of friendship and mix once more in the world. Indignation flared his passions, and with his temper unchecked unfurled. A foolish challenge he then did make, which proved quite detrimental. For just 2 bits he'd call it quits, from lodge meetings temperamental. And then John heard the cacophonous clap of thunder, and the clicking sound of cloven hooves, smelled the acrid stench of brimstone as he choked on sulphurous fumes. Then a figure tossed to him a quarter, gently rolling it across the floor, To his feet it finally landed, and then it stopped and rolled no more. Your bargain struck, and it's my good luck to seal the deal you proffer. A payment made for your lodge and trade? Why, it's to gladly take that offer. It's been nigh unto 10 score years now, back in 1826, since Bill Morgan made me such an offer. So pick it up now. Let's be quick. Not since I bartered William Morgan have I met a man like you, to so lightly esteem the blessings of fraternal ties and friendship true. For a mere 2 bits you'd call it quits. Isn't that what I heard you say? Rehearsals and all that goes with it? That's the best deal I've had all day. John stared numbly toward the figure, confused by what the man had said. With his fancy imported New England clothes, sporting black horns upon his head. I don't know who you think you are, but you can't come in here uninvited. The costume party's further down the street. Vacate the premises or be indicted. Jonathan Snow, it pains me so to hear you say I come now unrequited. Your knowledge of me and craft masonry seems woefully benighted. I never come where I'm not called. It was you who summoned me. For just 2 bits you would forfeit and forsake Freemasonry. Most times I must work harder to get a widow's son to yield, although you've made it fairly easy with your lack of Mason zeal. You think me a costumed intruder? Be assured that's not the case, but represent all things infernal, meant to enslave the human race. I'm used to getting what I want without the formality of purchase, going to and fro from down below to lodges, towns, and churches. When brother Masons fight and quarrel, you'll always find me there, hardening hearts towards one another, although they're not aware. I've been here since the beginning concerning famed Freemasonry, sowing dissension among the workers. On that I'm sure we both agree. While attending King Solomon's temple, conspired 3 fellow craftsmen to partake in an ill-planned plot for master's wages, leaving a broken corpse to mourn and wake. Yes, I've been here such a long, long time, and have gained quite the reputation for pitting brother against each other, like during the Protestant Reformation in 1738, inspiring Pope Clement by papal bull to pen the Eminenti Apostolatus, a most impiously expressed mouthful. But alas, my work is never finished. It is now only half begun. To finish the work that I started with Jubilan Jubilam. Well, of course, I've had my setbacks. Back in 1776, by Brother Masons duly guarded against my carnival of tricks. For God, the craft, and liberty, there conceived a brand new nation, to rule the land without demands of royal English approbation, and were inclined with thoughts sublime to share free Masonic allegory regarding that particular system of instruction. But hey, that's another story. You've struck a deal which has appealed to my dark, infernal nature. The time is right, All Hallows Night, for a Masonic misadventure. Come meet damnation's denizens, rejected refuse of human race, and hasten your journey to perdition there, to lay your soul to waste. Hell's cauldron merrily bubbles over now, with such hot-headed fools like you, that so lightly esteem the blessings of fraternal ties and friendship true. And neither Moses nor Mohammed, nor some jewel-encrusted crucifix, can redeem your soul, the devil gloated, seeing John's fearful countenance transfixed. Is there none to help the widow's son? The devil taunted. And then John prayed to the great architect to forgive him for the rash oath he had made. And 3 times he held his hands up high, shouting the grand hailing sign of distress. And the Lord answered John's prayer for mercy with celestial help for his defense. And championed by the supreme architect of Masons, the devil withdrew in full defeat, remembering his prior falling out in heaven, cast down for vainglorious conceit. Know this, Jon Snow, that before I go, I'll be keeping an fraternal eye on you, awaiting the next time you forswear Freemasonry, and I'll come back here when you do. But Jonathan Snow had learned his lesson, like the great architects of old, strove to make himself with good men better by turning leaden thoughts to gold. As to the moral of my story, if there is any lesson to impart, the battle for Freemasonry is not decided except when weighed in human heart.